It's that time of the year when, if you aren't careful, the hard-earned cash you work for all year can seem to slip through your fingers, and how to use your credit cards and spending for the year ahead can have a big impact on your financial health in the months and years ahead if you don't do it correctly. With me this morning to talk about some of the pitfalls we can often face and advice about ways to get free and clear those financial holes we can sometimes fall into. Richard Rosso, Director of Financial Planning for RIA Advisors, Houston financial services firm. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure, as always.
This is always a difficult thing, but nobody likes to talk about finances, especially if they're not doing well.
And especially around holiday time when you just want to let your finances go, like your waistline. Sort of the same kind of thing. But it's important.
Yeah.
You know, we just talked about this. It's just like vacuuming under the bed.
Yeah.
Who wants to do it? but sooner or later, you got to do it, right? But once you get in the groove, what I find is people really embrace it because it's just like shining light on something, and then all of a sudden, it's easier.
Right.
So I'm telling you, once you get started, it'll be a habit for you, not only every year, but more than once a year.
Well, I know you have a system of checks and balances that you say we can follow and make sure we're in better financial shape. Let's talk about this. Examining beneficiaries on all of accounts. What is that all about?
Well, you know, we have retirement accounts.
Right.
We have life insurance. We don't think about how it might be impacted if we forget to add beneficiaries, or we have a life change. We get divorced, something happens. Unfortunately, we lose a spouse, but we get remarried. We don't change beneficiaries, so that money goes directly. And I will tell you, there are people that leave their former spouses on their life insurance, and that's very much of a challenge. I had a client, dear client recently, new client, who his mother passed, and she didn't have beneficiaries on her life insurance policy, and the documentation is more onerous that way. He's entitled to the asset per the state regulation and how assets fall. However, he had to do much more work than is usual. So these are unwelcome surprises, and to update your beneficiary forms, and not only that, it's not, people would say, well, I guess it's my fault. Well, no, sometimes it's the organization's fault, because when you sign a beneficiary form, you could have life insurance in place for 10, 15, 20 years. The company gets purchased by another company. The paperwork gets lost. Always keep copies.
You talk about checking the spending of the past year. Why is that important?
Well, think about it. It's so easy to check spending now, categories, through your bank, through your credit cards. It really gives you a diagnostic, like a blood test, of where your money is going. Am I overspending, right?
You can adjust now.
You can really adjust now. Go, oh boy, look at the dining out category. I think I need to pull that back. So it's really a really good idea to go through your former statements. I don't care if it's checking, and we use credit cards every day now for everything, Cambrell, right? At the end of the year, you get a really nice comprehensive statement. Go through it. This
time of year when families get together, perhaps some of those uncomfortable conversations necessarily. Talk about, family estate planning, the kinds of things. You got to have that conversation.
It is. You know, sometimes it's tough because you don't know whose grandma's china is going to go to. Well, when grandma's still alive, it would be good for her to know, because then she's going to create havoc. You know what? I have seen families create havoc over G.I. Joe dolls, over little heirlooms that you wouldn't think mean anything, but they do. And the rifts go on forever. So as a family member, anybody, you, me, with our children, right? Who wants this item? You know, simple stuff like that. You got to have you have to have these conversations.
And also, we talk about a household budget, which is a lot of work.
It is.
And it's also, we talk about a credit report. There's another one of those things you talk about. Both of those kind of almost go hand in hand, really.
They do.
So the 2020 household budget, now we start to do it. There's a lot of work, but really at the end of the day, it really is helpful.
Absolutely. And if you have the categories from this year, you can really set your budget for next year. And I tell everybody, go to the office supply store, go on Amazon, get a Dome budget book. Do it by paper and pencil, because there's something more intimate as opposed to using an app. Believe me, you just get more intimate. And again, it doesn't have to be fancy, but it really will give you parameters around your spending.
30 seconds we have left. How important is it for your credit score, and what kind of credit score should we look for?
Well, you want to have 750, 800. You want to have a good credit score because it could mean lower costs for you on loans down the road. So go to annualcreditreport.com, pull it, easy, free. make sure everything is good. Check for
Discrepancies on that really can make a big difference.
And identity theft, as we know, is running rampant. You need to check your credit report every year.
Good advice.
Yep.
Always, Richard. Always
My
good to have you
pleasure.
here. Hopefully we're going to put your contact information on our website. Is that okay?
Of course.
When people are getting in contact with you to get more information about this.
Fine, absolutely.
Thank you, Richard. Appreciate it.